It went well, even though I fell off twice. Goodness me, girl, how is that well? How is that well? Have you got something wrong with you? Anyway, and even my instructor fell off. Girl, how was that well? What's happening here? You will never believe what I found. My old teenage diary from when I first got Casper, pony club mishaps, lots of very cringy stories and crushes. So I'm excited to expose myself. So here it is, my teenage diary. I can't lie, it's a very Esme kind of diary when you look at it, because it's lilac, one of my favourite colours. You know, I love a pastel colour, and it's covered in mushrooms. So I've always been a little bit kind of cottagecore. But anyway, I'm actually nervous to look in this, because I've had a little look at like a couple pages, and part of me was thinking, oh, I should read it all. I should, you know, pick out the favourite ones. But I feel like, you know, just going straight in there, kind of almost blind, like having no clue what I've written this, because I haven't looked at this since, oh my gosh, this is over 10 years ago. So these diary entries are from 2014. For some context, I would have been about 12, 13 at the time. I was year 8 at school, if that means anything. But yeah, let's get started, because for some context, around this time, because I've looked at a few pages, only a few, because no spoilers. But at this time, I had Mickey. It was my second year of like secondary school or high school, and this was actually around the time that we were looking for Casper and buying Casper. So there is a lot going on in here as well. So yeah, 11 years ago, that is wild. And also, I was really good with this diary, because we start off 14th of January and it goes all the way to September. So we have like my first pony club camp with Casper in here. We have lots of very awkward teenage kind of stories. So I feel like this is going to be a fun game of how much can you cringe in one episode. So anyway, I'm nervous. Which page should we start with? Ooh, okay. There's a lot going on here. Okay, let's go for this one. 17th of January 2014. What was Esme up to? So it says, Dear Diary, yay, today is a Friday and the weekend is just around the corner. I feel like I'm gonna read this in like 13-year-old Esme kind of speak as well. Today I had a Spanish test that I've been dreading. I think it was my speaking test actually, because I remember the one thing that I'd be really nervous about was like speaking tests when it came to languages. So if you didn't know, I did French and Spanish at school. It has been about 8 years since I last was learning those languages, so do not speak to me in French or Spanish, because I probably can't remember anything. But I remember being like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be the first one to do my speaking test, just get it out of the way. Because I feel like the worst part when it comes to exams is the like waiting, the hanging around beforehand, like they're looking at your notes. Can you remember everything? Anyway, but I actually did it and it wasn't so bad. In music, I was playing the drums and a new boy, girl, she's already told the drama. This is only first diary entry in and we've already got the drama. A new boy started playing the guitar with me. Oh my gosh, okay. And then my friend thinks that we like each other, but she is so wrong. And that was a capital S-O for so wrong. Oh my gosh, okay. And then next we had maths and I had to sit next to him. Oh my gosh, okay. I literally put awkward. Also, can we just talk about how I was always the goody two-shoes at school? When I was at school, I was always the, you know, the person that like did the homework, teacher's pet, that kind of thing. But it meant, because I was like a little bit quiet, I would always have the really difficult kids sat next to me. It was almost like a punishment. Like I was very good at school and everything, and do you know what? They're like, oh, maybe we'll put you next to the naughty kid or the loud kid or basically the really annoying kid. And it's like, what's that about? I know that I'm supposed to be like a good influence or whatever, but it really annoyed me. I was like, I'm being good and you just put me with the annoying people. Anyway, and then I put, he is also a, and then I put a not very family friendly word, so we are not gonna read that out. 12, 13-year-old Esme was savage. Anyway, on to the next diary entry. This is an exciting one because it says, Dear Diary, today has been so busy. Also, the amount of incorrect spelling mistakes in this, because this was before I found out I was dyslexic. I just thought I was a little bit slower than everybody else. But anyway, she didn't know back then. She thought she was stupid. Past Esme, you're not stupid, you're just dyslexic and don't know it. Anyway, first thing, me and Dad, incorrect English, Dad and I. Come on now, girl. To be fair, I got into top set English by the end of my school career. Wasn't in top set English in year 8. You can see that from how I'm reading it. We went to get all the stuff for Casper. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so exciting. So this is the 18th of January 2014. We went to get all the stuff for Casper for when he comes. Stable matting, head collar, lead rope, bucket, food. He had a special food. Then when I got home, I did my French homework. Go. Basically, this whole diary is just gonna be like, this is what I did for my homework. Lovely, lovely. Had some lunch, did some more homework. Girl, she was working overtime. And then mucked out the wiggies. Oh my gosh, that was back when we had guinea pigs. Oh, honestly, guinea pigs are some of my favorite animals. I miss having them so much. One day I will get guinea pigs again. Not right now, but oh, I loved them. And then we went to Pony Club. So this would have been with Mickey, because yeah, I didn't have Casper then, because I was getting stuff for Casper, where we did grid work with, and then it was one of my favorite instructors. And Mickey jumped up to 80 centimeters. I remember that day being so proud. Like now looking back, now I'm an adult and I have Joey who like 80 centimeters is like our warm-up kind of fences. But I guess, yeah, little Mickey, he was only 13 hands, bless him. I remember jumping that 80 centimeter jump at the end of the grid and being so proud of him. So, and it says, yeah, the highest we have ever jumped. And then we came home and had a rest. And also, every diary entry says, love from Esme. And then I also put 3 kisses. So, there we go. Me and my diary, we were tight. Dear diary, today is school picture day. And do you know what I woke up with? The biggest spot on my face ever. So, for some context, Esme at that age, she was not very confident. She had some very low self-esteem, and something like that honestly would just really shake my confidence. So I remember that school picture day just being so self-conscious of this spot, and I was like really trying to like put my hair in front of it, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I still have that photo or that kind of thing, which actually kind of brings me on to today's sponsor of today's video, and that is Skin and Me. So Skin and Me I've actually been working with since I want to say September 2023, and honestly they have been such a game changer. So throughout my whole teenage years I was that spotty kid, and even into my adult age or adult years or my 20s I thought, oh, you know, like spots, acne, that kind of thing, it'll be something that you grow out of. I never grew out of it. So you can see right here that I actually have no makeup on at all. I have like a little bit of scarring from the past where I've had spots in the past, but yeah, for almost 2 years now, I have been using the Skin and Me Daily Doser, and this has been incredible. So yeah, back 2 years ago basically, and since then, every single day I have been using their Daily Doser, and when I first started working with them, I sent in some photos of my face that I'll put up on screen where you'll be able to see that past Esme did have a little bit of spots, some acne, that kind of thing, and my skin now compared to it has changed so much. So the photos you send off to their dermatology team where they have experts that can look at your skin, see what needs some help. Also, they have an online consultation form that you can go through and you can click on your skin goals. So there might be certain things that you want to work on. So for me, that was my acne. Also, if you have other skin concerns like rosacea, or maybe you're older and you're working more on anti-aging, there's lots of different things that you can go through. So for me, it was more on acne. And so this is my Daily Doser. So as you can see, it has my name on. It's designed just for me. So it has all the ingredients that I need for my skin, because obviously everybody is different, everyone has different skin goals. So if I show you in this lovely metal tube, which is great for the environment because you can pop this in the recycling, and then the package that it comes in is cardboard, so that can go in the recycling as well. But one of my favorite things, this is really sad, but every day when I put it on in the evenings, this is part of my evening skincare routine. Let me just listen to this ASMR. Listen to that. Wait, let me do it again. That is the most satisfying pop. So this one actually, I've used this one all up. So, but the great thing about it, because it works kind of on a subscription basis, so I never actually run out. So I do have another one over here. Let me grab it. Here we go. This is my other one that I'm using. We'll do another satisfying pop. I don't want to waste the product, but I do want to show you how it works. You'd give it a little twist. This is a new one. There we go. And it gives you the perfect amount of daily doser that you need, because I'm the sort of person where I get a little bit too excited sometimes. I mean, can you tell? And I will accidentally squeeze out too much product and end up putting too much on my face. So the perfect thing about this is it gives you the correct amount that you need exactly. So this is what goes on my face every evening, and it has made such a huge difference, because I honestly cannot remember last time I had a spot or a blemish. Like, my acne has honestly like cleared up so much. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Skin and Me on partnering with me on today's video. I do actually have a discount code for you all, ESMEYT, that I will put up on screen, and that is to have a discount on your first daily doser. So the price is only $4.99 for your first one, and then ongoing it is $24.99. So again, I'll leave some links in the description below, and honestly, Skin and Me have been incredible, especially as you guys know, with my job, so much of me is like on camera. I do red carpets, I'm having my photo taken a lot. So for me, it's really important that, I don't know, like my skin is feeling good as well, because also spots can be painful as well. They can not be fun. So yeah, Skin and Me have been so incredible to work with. Has been an absolute game changer. Also, all of their products are vegan, cruelty-free, and they have really high quality ingredients. And back before I started using their products, I remember having like photo shoots or Paris Fashion Weeks with Stella McCartney. I remember like having a few spots before then and being so insecure and so nervous. And I feel like, yeah, Esme back maybe 3 years ago would never have filmed a whole YouTube video with no makeup on before. So I'm definitely more of a confident person. But anyway, talking about confidence, let's go back to past Esme and see what else she was up to, because yeah, there was a lot going on in past Esme's life. There were a lot of, I've just spotted the word poo on this page. So anyway, let's read this one, because you guys know, for some reason, I mean, with horses, it's a mucky job. It's a mucky job. So anyway, it says, "Dear diary, I have spent most of the day revising because I have a biology test and a physics test." Goodness me, this girl, she had it all going on. And today it feels like as if I've been homeschooled. Oh my gosh, Esme, what a struggle. But I do not know what I would have done if I had no one to help me. Oh, I remember my mum helping me with my homework and being very, very grateful. So thank you, Mum, for helping me with my homework. Today we went for a hack with Mickey, and he smelt at least 5 poos. Goodness grief, Mickey. Goodness, like, whose poos were they? I know there's a lot of stables around here, but oh my gosh, then I put dirty poo sniffer. Goodness me. Okay, well, past Esme obviously had a sense of humour. The bridle path was pretty muddy though, and then me and Mum watched Call the Midwife. There we go. What a time to be alive. Oh, this is another exciting one. The next day, another day back at school and a whole week ahead of me. Cool, she's got a bit of sass here, hasn't she? But it's not all bad, because Casper's gonna be vetted on Friday. Whoop whoop. I did my lessons as usual, and in HE, which is home economics, I don't know if other schools or whatever it's called, which is like basically cooking, like learning how to cook and stuff, we made shortbread. So I'd say that was a pretty good day actually. Then when it came to lunchtime, me and my friend walked into our form and it went completely silent. Awkward, but me and my friend just laughed it off. Yeah, as you can tell, I was not super popular at school. I was friends with all the horse girls. So yeah, I was the sporty kid at school and also the horse girls. So I didn't have much going for me. And then later on in life, I was the kid that did YouTube, which wasn't very cool either. Now everybody wants to be an influencer or do social media, but back in the day, if you did that, you were an absolute weirdo. Anyway, then when I came home, had a chill, and went to bed. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, we're gonna skip a little bit further forward because I wanna get to the stage where, oh, here we go. Dear diary, today my head of year had a talk with me about my, what does that say? My attitude. This was the one time I ever, about my attitude with my French teacher. This was just saying, I was such a good teacher. This is the one time I got told off by a teacher. So I didn't mean to be sassy, but obviously 13-year-old Esme, it came out sassy. So some context of the story, because we just flipped through a little bit. So my teacher was handing out all of our all of our books that had, like with our homework that had been marked, but for some reason she forgot to mark my one, and I don't know, I don't think I even realised she was standing there, but I opened my book because everyone was like looking at, because she did like fun little stickers if like you did a good job, so we were all quite excited to see what our sticker was, and I just remember opening mine, I just went, oh, she didn't mark mine, like I didn't mean to say it super sassy, I was like, oh, I didn't, like mine didn't get marked, and then she like was like, don't back chat me, don't give me attitude. So anyway, my head of year like not told me off, but she was like, you need to fix your attitude. I was like, I didn't mean, honestly, I think I might have even cried. Like I was the sort of person where if I got told off, I would just cry. I hate authority, I hate being told off, like all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so that was the one time I didn't get attention or anything, but that was the one time I got told off. Okay, but she let me off because it was out of character. There we go. I told you, I'm a goody two shoes. And then I had some boring subjects, and then extracurricular. Oh my gosh, so at my school, we had this thing called extracurricular, where every 2 weeks on a Friday afternoon, you got basically, not the whole Friday off, but you had the whole Friday to do something fun. So it would basically be like a little mini school trip every Friday afternoon. So I remember, the first one I did was bushcraft, which if you don't know what that is, so I remember starting year 7 and having like the list of all the different extracurricular activities that you could do. A lot of the girls did like dance or pottery, painting, or that kind of thing. Do you know what I chose? Bushcraft, which basically was going to a local forest school, learning how to like make a fire, make a den, or like a camp, like a camp and all that kind of stuff, which was very up my street as a country girl, wild child, feral forest kid. Anyway, and I remember my head of year coming up to me and be like, Esme, are you sure you want to do bushcraft? Because you're the only girl that has decided to do that. And I think, like, for half a second, I was like, oh, I should probably do what the other girls do. I should probably try and fit in. And then I thought, nah, I'm just going to be me. So I was like, nah, it's all good. I want to do bushcraft. So anyway, this was a little bit later on. This was like a year after I did bushcraft. So it said we were doing laser combat. Oh my gosh, I remember that being so fun. So actually that one, I roped all my friends into doing it. So we all, like a group of girls, all of us did laser combat with the boys, and that was so much fun. So that's like, it's basically like Laser Quest, but instead of doing it at like a bowling centre in like a dark kind of room, do you know what I mean? It's like outside and you're in the mud, and there was, kind of like, I want to say, like there was like tyres and netting and things that you would hide behind. It was good fun. We did like capture the flag, that kind of stuff. So obviously I found my group of friends that were into stuff that I was into, so always be yourself, kids. Never, be someone you're not for somebody else. Because at the end of the day, you got to make yourself happy, because you got to live with yourself forever. Anyway, that got a bit deep. Let's move on. So we did extracurricular where we were doing laser combat, and I was the Terminator. Oh my gosh. So I think I was the one that was going after everybody. So obviously 13-year-old Esme was having a blast. She don't give 13-year-old Esme power, because obviously she was abusing that. Then Dad picked me up and he said to me, Casper's passed. Oh my gosh, that must have been when he passed his vetting. Oh, and I was so, wait, how many O's does this so have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 not zeros, O's, 6 O's. I was so happy. And then we went to Mounted Games Pony Club in the evening, and Mickey was amazing. Oh, I remember doing Friday evening Pony Club Mounted Games with Mickey. Like Mickey, bless him, we were definitely slow and steady wins the race. We weren't the speediest, but he was so good at games, because there were some horses, if he did something with new equipment, they were a little bit spooky, weren't really sure. Mickey was so chilled. You could be, like, I remember one which is called Sword, which is always my favourite. I would literally be waving around a sword near his ears, could not care, bless him. I miss him so much. He was such an incredible little pony. What else do we have here? Oh my gosh, okay, we'll do the next day because it's all about getting ready for Casper. So today I am really excited because we are getting everything ready for Casper, and then did a little love heart as well. Finally, we have found a horse, because if you didn't know, we took a long time to find Casper, mainly due to budget reasons. We didn't, at that time, my family, we barely had enough money to get a second horse, so I'm very, very grateful to my family for helping me get Casper. As if you see my riding story, you might know that Casper was not very well trained, and that's why we got him for some people would say such a good price. Some people will say you get what you pay for. Anyway, moving on, but I've mucked out all the stables, I've cleaned the feed room, and I've put down new shavings in Casper's stable. Dad and I went to the bank early this morning to get the money. I remember this being the most exciting thing because we were paid for Casper in cash. And I remember like going to the bank with my dad and then like being like, hi, can we get some money out please? And just it being the most exciting day. Then I went and did the paper round, you know, young Esme doing her thing. And then, we checked, this is so random. So if you didn't know, my family, we ended up being like the guinea pig connoisseurs of the village. Like we were just like, if anybody had any guinea pig worries or concerns, we were the family that people went to. So on here it says we checked the gender of our friends' guinea pigs. So random, but there we go, because their guinea pigs had babies, and then actually, spoiler alert, they got bored of the guinea pigs, so we ended up just taking all their guinea pigs anyway. And then we went home. Love from Esme with 3 kisses. So, oh my gosh, this is literally the day after. Dear Diary, today Dad and I went to go and pick up Casper. So this is the 26th of January 2014. He went straight into the trailer just like that. His previous owner also showed me her saddle that is really posh. When we got him all settled in, the dyslexia. When we got him out, he settled in quite fast though, and him and Mix had their moments. I don't know what that means, but I do have a video of him and Mickey meeting for the first time. And let's just say there was some squealing. Some squealing. It was a rainy day, so we put them in and went swimming in the evening and then had pizza for dinner. Yum, yum. That is like the best day ever. Getting a new horse, going swimming and having pizza. It's like Christmas. Anyway, what a day. I feel like we should skip forward a little bit to like when I first started riding, because this is kind of like around the time where I was like at school. So obviously wasn't riding because we had no arena at this time, no floodlights, it was the middle of winter, so as soon as I got home from school basically it was dark, so the horses were only really ridden at the weekends, but obviously they were out on a paddock so they could exercise themselves. So this morning I have done the biggest muck out ever because now I have to do 3 stables. After that I went to our local tack shop and got Casper a new bridle and a martingale. There we go. After that we went back and my brother's friend was there, and my friend also came over shortly after, and we had lunch and went swimming. God, basically I just went swimming all the time. I still love swimming, as you guys know, I'm a big swimmer. And then went home and had a rest. So I don't know if I was riding that day or not. I want to find the day where, here we go, because obviously we wanted to let Casper settle in a little bit. Dear Diary, today is a big day because I've ridden Casper for the first time at our house. However, he hasn't got his new saddle yet, so we used Mickey's. We took him for a hack up and down the road, where at first he was too scared to walk past a parked car. But we got there in the end and he went past. Wow, what a great start to our journey, guys. And he has a really fast trot. I tell you what else is fast, me hitting the sand, which we will get to later on. In the afternoon, I did some homework, mucked out the horses, and then we went for a Chinese for dinner. Oh, I love our local Chinese restaurant, it's so good. Okay, oh my gosh, I remember this day this isn't as horsey, but I remember this day so well because it was like the definition of karma. So first thing in HE today, we made vegetable meatballs. I just put yuck. One of the popular boys who, when I just tell you, so you know, everyone, you know what I mean, but there's that one kid in class that's like so annoying, just is a bit nasty to everyone. Just, yeah, not very nice. Also, he was one of those guys that's like proper hard man, yeah, nothing can get past me. You know what I mean. One of the boys got chili in his eye and started crying. It was so funny. Little Esme was absolutely savage. Because I remember him he was kind of like, you know, messing about with his mate. He was like, oh yeah, let's get chili. Anyway, he got chili in his eye and he started crying because he was like trying to be such a hard man, having the chili and It was just the definition of karma. In history, I had to sit on my own because there was no room for me to sit with my friends. Oh, that was so sad. That was always the most gutting thing when you got split up from your friends. The rest of the day was really boring. I mean, we had all the drama at the beginning with that kid crying. Okay, let's get back. Let's find some more Casper pages. Oh, here we go. Dear Diary, today is the first day I've ridden Casper at my instructor's yard. So what we would do is, because we didn't have an arena, I would normally hack down the road to where my instructor's place was and I'd ride in her arena and have a lesson with her. It went well. I mean, I think there might have been, I've always been, you know, a half glass full, optimistic person, which is a great place to be. But I think I might have, what's that like quote from Dodie? I've been faking my diary entries. I think I was trying to, you know, so I'll be fine. Oh, life will be good and it will be great. It went well, even though I fell off twice. Goodness me, girl, how is that well? How is that well? Have you got something wrong with you? Anyway, and even my instructor fell off. Girl, how was that well? What's happening here? Oh my goodness. What he does is he puts his head down and you slide off. That is one way of putting it, my goodness. My instructor then lunged him and I got back on again. Girl, you've got balls of steel. How have you got back on again? Oh my gosh. By the end of the lesson, I was cantering him round in circles. I have definitely spelt circles wrong there. This afternoon, I mainly did homework and also fed our guinea pig, Linny, a couple of times. Oh, this might have been when our guinea pig wasn't very well. Then my grandparents came round for tea. There we go. What a day, what a day. I can't believe that I said that it went well, honestly. Anyway, okay, I feel like we need to skip forward a little bit because this is all like obviously the beginning of Casper and I's journey. So I think I want to skip to like Pony Club camp. Is that too much of a skip? Yeah, forget that. I want to see what I did on my birthday. Okay, 2nd of June, 2014. What was I doing? Okay, I finally found my birthday. I'm so glad that I actually put the date at the top of all of these. Dear Diary, it is my birthday! This is all in capital letters as well. I did not get any presents. What? Because I've opened them all yesterday. Oh, okay. I think this day was actually on a Monday, which is kind of sad. It was not very exciting. Girl, you could be a little bit more grateful. At least you got some presents. You got them yesterday. Because it just felt like another day because it's the first day back at school. I remember being so salty about this because my birthday being in June was always normally in June half term. So in the UK we have like, you get like a random like week off school in half term, like between the terms. Anyway, so my birthday was normally in half term, so it would be in the school holidays, so I had the day off. But this day, it was the first day back at school. Oh, this would have been my 13th birthday. There we go. So it says, great timing, not. Oh my gosh, the absolute sass. I made scones today at school in HE. I had a double whammy of my least favourite teacher because I'm pretty sure he taught me history and RS. So we just had like double my least favourite teacher. And maths. Oh my gosh, what an awful day. Like literally all of my least favourite subjects. Not the best day, but I didn't get given any homework, so silver linings, silver linings. Oh, and then I went and rode Casper in my new joggers after school. Also, back then we used to call Casper Mr. C, so a lot of the times instead of putting Casper, I would put Mr. C because it was shorter. Wait, we need to see what I did for my actual, like, fake birthday. Does anybody else have, like, a fake birthday? Like, if their birthday's on a Monday, then the Sunday will be their kind of fake birthday. That's what I did with my birthday this year. Dear Diary, we woke up... Oh, wait. It was a whole weekend birthday. Esme, I don't know why you were so salty that you didn't do anything for your actual birthday. Let me rewind. So this is back to Saturday now, the 31st of May. Dear Diary, yes, today I got everything ready for my birthday party this weekend because I'm having a log cabin sleepover in the woods. My friend, obviously I was very excited about this. I love a bit of camping. My friends arrived. One of my friends was late. Oh my gosh, the sass. I like exposed her in my diary, but like, how dare you be late for my birthday? We went on a rowing boat, roasted marshmallows on a fire. Oh my gosh, the absolute sass. So I remember this time because there was this new girl. This is gonna sound really petty, it's not. So there was this new girl that I invited her to my birthday party because she was new. She hadn't like been at the school very long. She kind of was in our group, but I wasn't very close with her. Just saying, I feel like I've got quite good intuition sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. If I get a bad feeling about somebody, it's normally for a reason. And I had a bad feeling about this girl. Let's just say, spoiler alert, it was true. She ended up ditching our whole group and went off with the popular girls, which, you know, you do you, girl. But anyway, I just put these two friends, because it was like my best friend who basically ditched me on my birthday for this new girl that she'd known a month. Anyway, and I just put my best friend and this new girl are getting on too well for my liking. Oh my gosh. Dad, you remember who this girl is, don't you? My dad remembers this girl. Anyway, getting on too well for my liking. I think she likes her more than me. Oh my gosh, poor Esme on her birthday getting ditched. Like, oh, that's kind of sad, but also teenage girl life, am I right? Anyway, everyone's been ditched by their best friend before. Dear diary, we woke up in the cabin, smoky, sticky, and stinking. I think the sticky was from the marshmallows. Because does anybody else have that? Like, I'd always get marshmallows stuck in my hair. Anyway, yuck. We went back home, had a shower and some toast for breakfast. My friends went home and I had a big rest because obviously I did not have that much sleep that night. I was the sort of person where my mum and dad knew that if I'd been at a sleepover after that, like the next day, just don't even talk to me. I am somebody who needs their sleep, and if I don't have enough sleep, I'm grumpy. I would like to say I'm a nice person, but I just would not be chatty at all. Once I had my energies up, we went for a ride on Mickey, and he felt so small. This was at the stage where I was really growing really fast, and like Mickey was getting a little bit older at this point as well. He felt so small, and he did lots of poo. What on earth? What is it about Mickey? I mean, I feel bad that I'm exposing him. Like now he's not here to defend him. I mean, it's not like he could talk anyway, but I opened my presents, even though my birthday is tomorrow, but my dad wanted to be, oh, that's really sweet, because yeah, I forgot my dad used to go to work. Obviously he works for me now, so I see him all the time, he's always at home. But yeah, my dad was at work, he worked, on a Monday, so he wanted to be there, so we kind of did like a fake birthday on Sunday evening. That's really sweet. There we go. I remember at that age being so excited because my main birthday present that year was in our old house. I moved, I think it was around that age, I think it actually, yeah, would have been around that age of that birthday that I moved from my childhood bedroom to what was the spare room, because the spare room was bigger. And as an older child, I got older child privileges, which normally as an older child, you don't get privileges. If you're an older child, you'll know that the younger child gets things like a mobile phone younger than you did. I had to wait for ages to get like my first phone or first electronic iPad or whatever. My brother got one the same age as me, even though he's 2 years younger. Anyway, I'm not salty, but I did get a bigger bedroom than him, but he didn't really care. And teenage girls, I got more stuff, It's just the way it is. My brother wasn't really into clothes or anything like that. Anyway, so that's what I did on my birthday. Okay, I need to find Pony Club Camp. I think that is what we need. Okay, here we go. I found the page. Dear Diary, today is the first day of Junior Pony Club Camp. So this is actually my last year of juniors because I'd not had Casper that long. And also my parents were like, we are not sending you off for a week and never seeing you again with a pony that is bucking you off all the time. So they were like, how about you do one more year of junior camp? Because I was at the age where I probably should have gone to senior, but my friend also, she was doing junior as well. So it kind of worked out all right. So anyway, Dear Diary, today is my first day of Junior Pony Club Camp. This will be my last junior camp, brackets, but my first one with Casper. Casper was very excited. That's one way of putting it, Esme. But I managed to not lose control, even though we had a storm and there was thunder and lightning. Oh yeah, I remember that. Because I remember the first morning we couldn't really ride until the afternoon because there was literal thunder and lightning and a storm going on, and we were like, Anyway, I was the best when we did the mounted games. Girl, she was bigging herself up, the confidence here. Imagine, I would not write that nowadays. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a confident person, but like, she was full of herself. She was the best. I mean, to be fair, I was probably the only person in my group that did the Friday evening Pony Club Games practice. So, you know, I was on the Pony Club Games team. What can I say? Oh, I love games. I want to do it again. Oh, I think we did work as well, but I think I meant to put, it felt weird doing games on Casper, because obviously it was so used to doing on Mickey, who's small, so I could lean down, pick up all the equipment. But back in the day, you've got to remember, Casper, he's what, 14, 3, 15 hands? And, you know, 13-year-old Esme, she was a little bit on the shorter side, just putting it out there. So Casper, he was very big for me. I remember when we first got him, so many people thought that he was my mum's horse. And I was like, no, my mum doesn't ride. My mum's not horsey. Because a lot of people at that age, they would just ride their parents' horse. But I didn't have a parent that was horsey. So everyone was like, oh, is that your mum's horse? I was like, no. Because obviously, yeah, anyway. At lunch, we swam. Oh yeah, at our Pony Club camp, we were so lucky that at junior camp, they had a pool. Senior camp, they didn't, but junior camp, they did. So we would go swimming at lunchtime. And we did some show jumping. He was good, but he just needs to grow up. Aw, that's kind of like a sweet way of putting it. That like, he wasn't just really untrained and very green. It's like, he just needs to grow up. Which is a lovely way of putting it. I definitely had a Pony Club instructor that said that to me to try and cheer me up that I was probably the worst in the group. Maybe that's why I was trying to big myself up with the amount of games, saying I was best at the games. Okay, today is the second day of camp. First, we did cross country. Wow, we're throwing Esme into the deep end there. Casper was very keen. Another way of putting it, he was keen. And he managed to jump everything. Water, houses, ditches, logs. After lunch, we did some dressage. And he was actually really good. And both of us have never done it before. I remember that was the first time I was like properly taught, you know, what having a contact with the horses, all that kind of like dressage-y stuff. We had grid work straight afterwards in the blazing heat. And we did a grid of 5 jumps. And we managed to jump about a metre. I think it was probably about 90 centimetres, but you take it, girl. I think I do actually have that clip somewhere. I remember being like, wow, look at him go. I will look back on this clip and be like, wow, Casper looks so gangly and unbalanced and kind of Bambi on ice, but he cleared it, so here we go. Dear Diary, today is the 3rd day of Pony Club Camp, and this morning we were doing show jumping, and I jumped a metre again. I really don't think I did. But I'll take it. This afternoon, we did cross country and the horses were very spooky. I remember this day, it was like a little bit windy. You know when one horse is a bit on edge and then it just sets off all the others? It was one of those kind of days. And it was not as good as yesterday. You're telling me, girl. I fell off. But I'm fine. But so did my friend. Oh my gosh, 2 of my friends fell off as well. Literally, oh my gosh, imagine having 3 kids fall off in your lesson. That is tough. Oh my gosh, no, there's a 4th one that fell off. And the 4th one fell off in the water jump. Goodness me. I felt really bad because I think Casper pooed in the water just before, so I apologised to my friend that fell off on that water jump. Though, we jumped the tyres. Okay, so at my Pony Club camp, where we did cross country, there was this tyre fence. And I remember from like my first ever camp, looking at those tyres and be like, one day if I can jump those tyres cross country, I will be like an incredible rider. Like, does anybody else have like that one thing that really got in their head? Like, oh, once I've done that, like I'm it, you know? And I jumped the tyres. We camped the night and I drew a super guinea pig. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe we did some drawing anyway. Random, okay. But yeah, I remember that camp we actually got to, I'm pretty sure my mum took Casper home and then came back the next day and we camped like in a tent. So Esme did not get much sleep that night, so I don't know what the next day is like. But I actually remember the reason why I fell off doing that cross country was because there was a ditch and my instructor was like, you can canter it. And I think like, you know when you have that gut feeling where you're like, I don't think I should canter this. I don't think it's gonna go well. And I was like, I want to trot it. And she was like, no, you can canter it. I should have stuck to my guns and trotted it because I remember cantering it and then Casper got a bit too excited afterwards and did a little bronk and I fell off. So I would have stayed on if I'd stuck to my gut and did it in trot. So sometimes, also, I feel like if you're going into a fence and you have a bad gut feeling, then it's just going to end up not good anyway. So trust your guts. Anyway. Dear Diary, today is the 4th and last day of Junior Pony Club Camp. This morning, I woke up to screaming children at 5:30 outside our tent. Goodness me, girl, did not get enough sleep. They were throwing grass at each other. Anyway, In dressage, Casper put his head in a perfect position, and we got a clear round in the show jumping, a 3 feet course, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. This afternoon, after swimming, we did our end of camp show, and I wore blue and painted hearts on Casper's bottom. Lovely. I remember we'd always do like an end of camp show and we'd like get like pony paint and like dress up and that kind of thing. So I think we did like a little dance routine to some music. Can't remember what the music was. He has been such a good boy all week. Most of the week. You know what? I'd say most of the week. I put all week. I would say most. Bless him. He was just a nervous little guy that hadn't done much and he was thrown into the deep end. But no, bless him. Good boy. So there we go. That is camp. I feel like we should do, I've been chatting away. I feel like we should do one more page. I feel like it should be like just a random one. A random page. It could be any day. What's it going to be? Okay, the random page I have picked is the 15th of March 2014. It says, Dear Diary. So at this point, hadn't had Casper maybe 2 months. Dear Diary, this morning, Mum and I took Casper around the local bridle path. It was lambing season, so when we got to the 3rd field, there were loads of sheep. They started galloping towards us from all directions. It was like a whirlpool. I managed to get out safe from the killer sheep, and we went back because we couldn't get through. So this story, oh my gosh, this was one of the most traumatizing rides on Casper. So context, it's that time of year where the sheep didn't really see humans very much, and if they did, it was because they were being fed by the farmers. So, you know, there weren't many people walking across because it was kind of muddy, that kind of thing. So when they saw us, they were like, humans, do you know what that means? Food. So they came charging at us, could not escape. I actually had to do an emergency dismount off Casper, had to like wave my arm around like this to get him through the sheep. So poor Casper, when we first got him after that was like one of the first times he'd seen sheep, was traumatized by the sheep for ages, but he's fine with them now. We hack through that all the time, but yeah, what a day. Dear Diary, today is Home Clothes Day. So if you didn't know, in the UK, a lot of schools you have to wear school uniform. I had to wear school uniform. Our school uniform was horrendous. To be fair, after this, they did change it the year after, but at this point, my school uniform was a burgundy blazer with a red and white stripy tie with a kilt, like a proper Scottish wraparound kilt, and the kilt was burgundy, green and red. So it was like a Christmas tree. Anyway, the school uniform was changed after that and it does look nice, it's like grey now, which I don't know if that's kind of like sad grey, and the kilts were kind of itchy as well. Anyway, so it was Home Clothes Day this day, and Home Clothes Day was always a big day. It was like the Met Gala at school because everybody wanted to wear their best outfit, they wanted to look their best. All the girls like would curl their hair or straighten their hair or, you know, that kind of thing. Like, it's a big day. Especially as a lot of the time people wouldn't really like, it's where you could kind of express yourself a little bit more. It would often be for charity, so you would come in your home clothes and you'd donate like £1, or like for Americans like $1 to a charity. So anyway, and there would always be that one kid that would forget it was Home Clothes Day. It was always like one or two boys, and they would always forget, and like I would always feel so bad for them, but also like, come on, the teachers told you the day before. How can you forget? I was planning weeks in advance for Home Clothes Day anyway. So yeah, that is one thing I'm very grateful that my school did have a uniform, because I cannot imagine the pressure of going to a school where you don't have uniform and having to think of what to wear every day, because yeah, young, insecure Esme would not have liked that. Today, it is Home Clothes Day, and loads of people commented on how nice my top was. I remember being so excited and so happy that people liked my fashion sense. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've always had great fashion sense, what could I say? I've always been into fashion. There have been some questionable outfits over the years, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the bad thing about diaries. Bad thing about diaries is struggling to read your handwriting. Good thing about diaries is if anybody goes to snoop through your diary and they can't read your handwriting, it's great, they can't read what you've written. I think this was at the end, I think this was just before the Easter holidays, and I think this was our last day before the Easter holidays, so I think we might have finished early or had like a bit more of a chilled kind of day. I had art today, and all the other lessons we just watched movies. brilliant, great education there. But to be fair, last day of school before the Easter holidays or Easter break, or yeah, whatever. You don't really do much. Spring break, that's what the Americans call it. We also had a quiz. Yes. So our school was a little bit like Harry Potter in the sense where we had like houses. I was in the greenhouse. Was not like Slytherin. We were the best house. We were the sporty house. We always won sports day. We also always won like end of year. Our school did a thing where the house that would win, you would get free ice cream on the last day of school as like a way of kind of incentivizing people to get house points, do well, that kind of stuff. And our house won. We got to go home early, so I rode Casper along the local bridle path and trotted him for the first time ever controlled. Oh, that's one way of putting it. I think normally I'd go through there, no brakes, on a wing and a prayer, clinging on for dear life. So anyway, this was 4th of April. So, and then mucked them out, love from Esme. So there we go. That was, I think we'll probably finish it there because I've been waffling on for way too long, but that was what 13-year-old Esme was like. Very insecure, obviously, about her outfit for non-school uniform day, about her skin, about just everything in life. But as you can see, life gets better. I am a very more confident person, and my confidence of riding horses, obviously Casper, is a lot better now, as you can see. I literally the other week rode him, jumped him bridleless. So if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. But anyway, before we end, I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to Skin and Me on partnering up with me on today's video. I've had so much fun reading my old diary entries. Hope you enjoyed them, hearing all the gossip. But also, again, Skin and Me has been an absolute game changer for me. Again, I've filmed the whole of today's video makeup free, and if you do struggle with your skin or have any skin concerns, would really, really recommend. They have an incredible dermatology team. I update them with photos on how my skin's doing because again, each Skin and Me Daily Doser is designed for each person. So as always, as you grow, your skin's gonna change. You're gonna have different skin concerns. So yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to Skin and Me. Again, use my code ESMEYT. I'll put it up on the screen. And yeah, let me know if you would like a part 2, maybe to this video, because I've had so much fun filming it. And obviously I have a lot more diary entries. And I also have a lot more diaries as well. This is just 13-year-old Esme. So anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye.